So I am very glad to be here to take this sessions here. So what I have done is that I have planned for mains 2025 5 sessions in the evening, and this is from my personal initiative which I am taking right now. And there is another person who is also willing to help students in GS3 paper. You all know that since you all have qualified prelims exam and you are going to appear in the main examination, and now time is very less because August main paper will be there. And GS3 paper, if you know, is a very dynamic subject, right? It's a dynamic paper, I can say that. Science and technology, environment, disaster management, internal security, economic development. Not only the focus is in the core area, but also on the current aspect. And particularly if you take my subjects, right, SNT and all these are all linked with current aspect. And you all have seen previous year question papers, right? I don't have to go too much of detailed part of it, but if you have seen PYQs of main examination, you know that Chandrayaan 3 mission was asked. It was in the news. JWST, James Webb Space Telescope, that was in the news. UPSC asked the question in the paper, right? There was continuously in the news about near Earth asteroid, NEA, which may fall to the Earth. So last year, main exam, there was a question on asteroid. What are asteroids, right? What type of threat could be there? So what we realized that in the topic of SNT, if you have done the current affairs thoroughly for the last 1 or 2 years, which I am very sure you have been doing that. I am very sure that because for prelims exam, you have gone through current science and technology from various coaching institutes, you know. Many people follow this Vision IS material, right? Insight material. There are a lot of materials in the market, monthly magazines, right? All those you have already gone through that. That's what now you are writing main examination. So you are thorough with the topic. It's not that you are not aware of topics. You are aware of it. But what is very important from the main exam perspective, questions which will be asked and the way you are going to answer. So there are 3 to 4 questions, right? You all know that GS3 paper will come from SNT, Science and Technology. Now along with me, there's another teacher. Even I thank him to be, giving his valuable time. And all of you can also, you are aware of him. His name is Pramod Sir. I'll just, so Pramod Singh Sir, right? He's a very good faculty for Indian economy. So even he is also going to take it, right? So after my classes, after my 5 days classes, Pramod Sir will take over the economy. So that economy area, and if you look at GS3 paper, if you look at the total number of questions, half of the paper, like 50%, is on economy. Questions come from economy, right? So economy becomes very important. Then comes the disaster management. So I'll be conducting one session on disaster management on those topics which are of relevance of this year exam, and how to go across those topics. Even what I'm trying to do is that I have spoken to one more person who can take an internal security part, so that the GS3 in a totality can be given to all of you, right? So that you are benefited. So I will not take much time. So let us go to the main aspect of it. These are the 5 areas which I have mentioned, that science and technology, environment, disaster management, which I am going to take. Economic development will be taken by Pramod Sir. And for internal security, there is a faculty who will be taking that. That will be the end of the economic classes. 2 classes will be on the internal security. What is our approach? Answer writing part of it, because that is where you all are looking. Somebody's mic is on. Can anyone? Okay. So what I'm saying right now is that we have to look from the mains answer writing part of it, right? Because answer writing is a very, very important thing. Based on that, you will get marks. So let us now, without wasting much time, let me get into the main part of it. As I said, the Pramod Sir will be part of it, and myself is there, and one more faculty for internal security. Now this is what my plan is there. Then I will start with my topics. Today, 1st of July, right? Important current science day topics for mains from the newspapers and magazines. So here the source which I will be following, that is the Hindu paper, Indian Express, right? You all have been aware of that. Then Coaching Institute current affairs magazines, from there the topics will be taken there. Then tomorrow will be another very important class, because tomorrow I am going to discuss topics from our scientific organizations like ISRO, ISRO, even today also I will touch upon those topics. ISRO, DRDO, right, Department of Science and Technology, Department of Biotechnology, all those ministries, departments, and whatever the programs and policies are there. Because in the main exam you also get question from programs and policies. Like for example here PIB, right, Press Information Bureau. Now you may be worried that whatever I am going to cover, what type of support system you will get in addition to whatever I am covering in my 2-hour session. I will provide you documents, right? मैं आप लोगों को documents दूंगा. If I am using Hindi in between, that means I'll come into both the languages there. You don't have to worry about documents, right? You will get curated material. मैं अपने तरफ से आपको वैसे materials दे दूंगा which you can read, right? So I'll provide you such a document which will be targeted, because at this junction you cannot go to hundreds of materials, and it is not the matter of only GS papers. You have to prepare for essay, you have to prepare for optional paper. So I will provide you the material for you to read, right? Questions, dynamics of the questions, and how to approach answer writing I am going to cover live right now through this session, so that you know exactly how the questions can be asked in the exam, right? So tomorrow again will be science tech. Day after tomorrow I will be covering environment topics. Again, the major sources, newspapers, current affairs magazines, all this will be there. And then after that, that means fourth day, I'm again going to do the environment part. And you all know that environment is another evolving area, and the kind of questions being asked now is changing year by year, right? It's not that students who are doing like 5-year analysis, okay, these are the things in the prelims exam, the question will be there. Now UPSC is going beyond that. Every time the new questions are being asked. And one of the very important source which I am going to cover, that is a Down to Earth magazine. You all know Down to Earth, CSE, Center for Science and Environment. Newspaper editorial, burning problems of climate change, pollution, right, natural resource management, all those areas. EIA, Environmental Impacts Assessment. Last year there was a question on EIA, how the role of NGOs, non-government organizations, play in the environmental clearance of the country. So even if you go earlier, there have been questions asked on EIA part. So we'll look into those areas which are specifically means point of view. Prelims is gone. Now we don't have to think of prelims. But for the main exam point of view, what are the topics of environment which we need to focus on that? And then the 5th class will be disaster management, which I said I will be covering. And I have planned, like I will be covering glacier lake outburst, again connected with environment. Now you know monsoon, the time of monsoon, cloud burst, urban flood, but again you know heat wave. Heat wave and all those areas, again I will be going through all those areas, right? So the questions will be such a way that because required for the main examination, right? Again I am requesting everyone that please mute yourself, so that whenever I ask, then you can unmute and talk to me, because otherwise rest of the people will get disturbed. So these are the areas here which I have kept here. Now let's start the topics one by one, right? Now I'm coming to the part which you are looking for, and the part of discussion there, right? So now let's look at here. Science and technology, right? The first very important part, which continuously a theme UPSC has been asking in mains exam. मेन एग्जाम में लगातार एक ऐसा थीम है जहां पर लगातार क्वेश्चन पूछे जा रहे हैं, राइट? यू ऑल नो दैट इज अ स्पेस एंड एस्ट्रोनॉमी. right? So if you look at the last 5 years exam, this is one area where question comes. The reason being that it is there in the current news. Whether we talk about ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, our own organization, or we take into account global development, ये सब न्यूज में रहता है करंट एस्पेक्ट में, तो एग्जाम के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है. इट बिकम्स वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द एग्जामिनेशन, राइट? एंड फर्स्ट थिंग विच आई एम वेरी श्योर this time the question can be asked. So what I've done, I have filtered topics here. Axiom 4 mission ongoing. Right now it is there in the news. NISAR mission. See, if you take any topic of science and technology, there are so many topics are there. There are hundreds of topics, right? Again, from the relevance of the examination where probably questions can be asked, you need to know the important areas. Now, when you talk about space technology, something which are impactful, which is impacting humanity, right? Which impact human race. And at the same time, from India's perspective, India's development, you have to look into that. Whether it is a R&D, research and development, scientific progress, or societal development of society, right? So Axiom 4 mission, Shubhanshu Shukla, group captain, right? Shubhanshu Shukla is right now in ISS, International Space Station. आप सबको पता है कि ये भारत के लिए ऐतिहासिक समय रहा है कि जहां 41 इयर्स के बाद भारत ने, जो भारत का एस्ट्रोनॉट है, पहुंचा, और पहला एस्ट्रोनॉट है जो इंटरनेशनल स्पेस स्टेशन पहुंचा. दैट इज द फर्स्ट इंडियन एस्ट्रोनॉट टू रीच इंटरनेशनल स्पेस स्टेशन. बट यू नो दैट इफ यू टेक कल्पना चावला, सुनीता विलियम्स, they are also astronauts from Indian origin, right? But you know, media is mentioning group captain Shubhanshu Shukla as the second person. You know the first person, 1984, 1984, squadron leader, Mr. Rakesh Sharma. He was the first, right? With support of Russia, USSR, Soviet Union. 1984, 2025, 41 years, where we have another one. But the first one to reach ISS, International Space Station, is all there in the news. See, why I'm taking this topic? Because if you recall, Chandrayaan 3 was in the news. And UPSC asked the question on Chandrayaan 3. Detailed question was there, right? Those who have read Chandrayaan 3 properly could be able to write the answer. Axiom 4 is making the news for the last 1 year. Now it is implemented, right? 4 astronauts who have reached ISS, right? NISAR mission. I'm very sure you have read for the prelims exam. NASA ISRO synthetic aperture radar. And you can connect this NISAR mission with geography, disaster management. And remember that GS3 paper, science and technology, is one area. But question can be asked from other GS also there. यूपीएससी का GS3 पेपर में साइंस से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन तो है ही, लेकिन दूसरे जो पेपर्स हैं GS1 2 वहां पर भी जहां भी साइंटिफिक एस्पेक्ट है उसके क्रॉस कनेक्शन क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. इंटरकनेक्टेड क्वेश्चंस कैन बी आस्क्ड. सो निसार मिशन which will be there. Aditya L1 you all know. Suryayaan. India's mission to study sun. Right? You all have read for your prelims exam. You know the detailed part of Aditya mission. But if you look at the question paper, prelims exam, right? This time, these topics were mentioned there. Exam 4 was mentioned. Right? Aditya. All these are there. Gagan was asked. Gagan, another thing was asked in prelims paper this year. Right? So, these are the 3 some curated topic which has to be there. So let us understand few things. Let me go into that one, which I think can be a very probable area, which I said the first topic, exam formation. And I will interact with all of you because I want to make this session as an interactive session, just to understand where is your level of preparation. And as I said, and as I told, I'll give you document. मैं आपको डॉक्यूमेंट वगैरह दे दूंगा पढ़ने के लिए, सेल्फ स्टडी करने के लिए, उसके लिए टेंशन नहीं लेना है. मैंने बताया आपका टाइम बहुत प्रेशियस है, वो मैं आपको सपोर्ट करूंगा. आई विल बी सपोर्टिंग यू विद द डॉक्यूमेंट, बट आई वांट टू मेक श्योर दैट दिस 2 hours, right, at least when you are attending my session here, you are able to understand the dynamics of the exam and how much is your confidence level. Let's say exam formation, right? Suppose you get a 10 marks question can also be asked, 15 marks question can also be asked. Both possibilities are there. Suppose that a question comes here. What is a exam formation? Let's say you know that when a question comes, the first part is about the technology, about the mission. So let's say exam formation. Let's say second part of the question, what is the relevance or significance? I'll use the word significance of this mission. Simple question, you know, which one can easily write there. Mission for India's space program. Suppose you get a question here which you have to answer in 150 words. Simple direct question. Can be asked, right? UPSC can ask you a direct question like this. Because see, such topics are very simple topics. What I believe in main exam, science and technology questions are not difficult. If one has read properly, knows the facts, knows the topic very well, know the facts, right, mixed with government programs and policies and the application part, one can easily write. It's not a big deal, one can easily write. But what is very important, you are aware of the information. How do you present it? That matters a lot. आप क्या लिखते हैं वो बहुत मैटर करता है. यहां जितने लोग हैं, सभी लोग, सबको पता है, लेकिन आप आंसर कैसे स्टार्ट करते हैं, क्या इनपुट आप लिखते हो, आप लिखने का तरीका क्या होता है, वो बहुत मैटर करता है. हाउ डू यू बिगिन योर आंसर, what way you are bringing the points into the SMT question matters a lot. Let me do one thing here. Let me do here.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Let me do one thing here. I'll ask Vivek. Vivek, can you unmute yourself? Yes, Vivek. Okay, he's not able. Yashika, can you unmute yourself? Yashika? Yashika? Are you able to unmute yourself? Yeah. Yeah, good evening, Yashika. How are you?
Sir.
You are writing mains exam, right, this year? Jessica? She has not turned up. Okay. Anutosh, can you unmute yourself, Anutosh? Anutosh? Anutosh Bhardwaj? No, okay. Anybody who want to answer this question, I just want to see your, thought process. Then I'll come to the part of it here. Yes, Bhuvnesh Kumar. Bhuvnesh, can you unmute yourself? Yeah, good evening, Bhuvnesh. How are you, Bhuvnesh?
Yes, fine.
Okay. Yeah, I'm also good. So, Bhuvnesh, you're from where? Where you belong?
Fine. Tamil Nadu University, sir.
Great. I think we have met, right? Last time? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Bhuvnesh, suppose this year main exam, you get a question this. It's a very simple question. So how would you begin your answer? How would you start with your answer?
So, the current affairs, because it is a current thing happening.
Correct? Uh-huh.
Yes, I'm explaining what is the examination. Oh,
Okay. No, let's say introduction. When you start with your answer, you will be starting with the introduction part. So, introduction, what you will write there? What should be the main points in the introduction? Let's say this question, what is exam 4 mission? So, let's say you have to write 3-4 sentences in introduction. So, what all points you will bring here? What all things will be there as it comes to your mind? Yeah.
yes, it is a human space flight, human mission, actually. Human space flight. Exactly.
Good, very good. It's a human space flight. I know, I am very happy that you have used correct words. See, many times the student write manned mission, right? See, there are way to write, like one can write manned mission, right? But the word which you use, human space flight, that is where the right words comes. All right. Now my question is that, is this human space flight mission exam 4 is a government mission or a private mission?
No, sir, it's a private mission.
Is a private mission.
Private mission.
Good. Very good. That's what I'm saying. See, whenever you are looking at the question, you should have pointers here. Private space mission. Okay, good. Another fact is this one. And I'm asking another question, which you all know that. Which spacecraft was used to launch this mission to low Earth orbit? Low Earth orbit.
I'm not sure. Falcon, I think. Falcon.
Okay. And what is the name of the company? Which? You know that, Falcon 9. What is the name of the company? What is the name of the company? You know that? SpaceX. Right? SpaceX, if you look at the launch here. So I'm just writing the pointers here. If you look at launch provided by SpaceX. Right? Elon Musk, SpaceX company. And now I'm using a very important word, dragon. Dragon. Do you know what is dragon? See, Falcon 9 you have mentioned that. What is dragon? Dragon. See, when you look at this mission, it is very, very important to understand here. See, when a science take question will come, you have to also bring some conceptual level there. You have to bring some technical aspect also there. Crew module. What is the word here? Crew module. Right? Four human astronauts. Right? They were in a crew module. That's a Dragon. Right? SpaceX Dragon were 4 of them. Now I'm just simply asking that. See, when you write answer, certain facts have to be there. One is the group captain Subhashi Shukla. Right? We all know. Indian astronaut, we all know that. What about others? Other 3. Which country they belong? Let's say even you forget the names, you don't know the names. India is one country. Which are other countries? Yes. Can you tell me? Which are other countries? Poland is one. Okay. Another? Apart from Poland? Hungary. Hungary, yeah. Poland, Hungary, India, then? 4 countries are there, right? There 4. So which is another country? Hmm?
Once I know that.
No, not a problem there. See, these are those countries' astronauts which have been coming for the second mission after 40 years. It's not that only the mission of India's mission after 40 years. I mentioned squadron leader Rakesh Sharma and then now Subhashu Shukla. Even for other countries, Hungary, Poland, their astronauts are also meant for the second mission, going to the outer space. So Poland, Hungary, right, India, and one more country is there. Is it USA or some other country? What I've said here, it is second time for those countries to come there. So if you look at USA, so many astronauts have gone and come back, right? Anybody else want to give me that? Topic from my side. You'll get something from my side. Yes. Anutosh, Vivek, nobody's answering right now. Even you can search, there's no issue on that. See, this is what I want to make an interactive. I'll go to other topics also there. But when you start answer, how do you get more marks? If you are able to bring more information to the point and with less words, not writing too many. And in that case, if the point come to your mind, right? I'm looking at the chat box also there. Let me see here. Chat box also there. Okay, Sanvi Kumari has said US. Okay, all right. Okay, so let me just tell you this one. These are the people, right? These are astronauts, right? Pilot is a Indian astronaut. He was a pilot flying this space dragon and all this one. This is a commander of the mission, and the two are space specialists, right? Who has gone into that? Yes, US is also there. Poland, Hungary, US, India. That what comes here, right? So if you look at this mission, I'll again get back here. If you come to this one, let me get back here. This one. So you should know the main facts. Right? Dragon crew module. And even India's Gaganyaan, you all know about Gaganyaan mission, will be the similar type of a mission where the 4 astronauts will be sitting inside a crew module. And we will launch it with the help of GSLV Mk3 Mark III, or what we call as a LVM3. Launch Vehicle Mark III, LVM3 we are going to launch the module where 4 Indian astronauts, the same thing what they have done this one. And what becomes very important, docking. And they have gone to where? International Space Station, ISS, where this has been docked successfully. And they have been greeted by already their resident astronauts, welcomed them into the International Space Station. So when, let's say, question comes, so what is EXIM-4 mission? Your answer should begin that EXIM-4 mission is a human space flight. Although it is a private mission, but it is supported by government organizations like NASA, ESA, right? You know that International Space Station is run by 5 agencies. And India being a part of it. India as a part of in this mission to take Indian astronaut to that. So those facts you have to first bring into the introduction part. Then comes the relevance, right? Then comes the relevance part of it. Now, if you look at here, what is very important in this context is that you have to always look for the right information. Although you know that you are using ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT is one of the things which you are using for your getting the content and information there. That is good also because you get a lot of information quickly. But what I would like to bring, because this topic is very, very important for this year main examination. And I'm very sure that there will be a question based on this. So what is very important here? You have to connect this one with the Gaganyaan mission, right? India's ISRO's Gaganyaan mission, because this is one of the things which will become a part of it. That's what one of the 4 astronauts is a part of this training program. Right, training program, going to the International Space Station and then coming back. Now, after 14 days, how many days all these 4 astronauts are going to spend and conduct experiment? What they will do? They will conduct experiments in the microgravity, right? Like for example, very recently, Group Captain Subhashish Shukla mentioned from International Space Station that he is going to conduct a certain type of experiments on a stem cell. How the muscles, right? How the muscles, right? The vesting of the muscles happen in the zero gravity or microgravity. Then the stem cell, you know about biotechnology, stem cell, that can play a role. So then a lot of experiments are being conducted which will play a very important role for societal application. And that can also be the part of the question where you have to write in the answer, because your answer should not be a very generic answer. You have to bring about those content which can be really useful for the exam, your answer part of it, which basically take you to your answer different from the others. Myogenesis. The word was myogenesis. Muscle growth. Zero gravity, microgravity, experimentation. All those things which is being conducted there. So, Gaganyaan, which is going to India's mission, next mission. So, this exam 4, the training part of it, of one of the astronaut going to the International Space Station, and then after 14 days, he will come back, will really play important role for our own mission in the long term, future mission. And why is International Space Station? You again know that we are also planning to build our own space station. Bharatiya Antariksh Station, that is a BSA. There's also India's plan. This mission in a long term, because we have planned for 2035-36 to have our own indigenous space station in the low Earth orbit. What is the word here? Low Earth orbit. Where is International Space Station? Low Earth orbit. So that is a gradual step. One by one, we are moving into that. The exam 4 is one of the stepping stone for India's space program, which will finally to the Gaganyaan mission, and then finally to our own space station, which will be built by our own Indian astronauts and ISRO in coming years. Right? Now, if you see here, if you look at this part of here, if we go to that one, if you look at here, Google search, when you go to this one, exam 4, the lot of content making the things here, right? But where you have to look for the right content? Chat GPT, AI can give you some curated content, that's all right. But what is very important? This the website. Just you have to take 5 to 10 minutes time, right? 5 to 10 minutes time to go through this one. Now see here, I'll just go to the main part of it. See here, Peggy Whitson, Commander, Subhashish Shukla, right? Then here Vince Vicky and Tibor Kapoor. So here if you look at this one. Here is the part of it. Hungary, Poland, right? The part of it there. And US and India. You'll see here. Subhashish Shukla, India's second national astronaut to go to the space since 1984. Then Slavoj Ozansky, European Space Agency, project astronaut, 1978. Polish astronaut, Poland. Tibor Kapoor, second national Hungarian astronaut since 1980. Peggy Whitson, commander, will command her second commercial human space flight, second one, and longest cumulative time here, American astronaut. Correct? AX4, second commercial space flight mission here. So now here, given there. See, you have to take just 5 to 10 minutes to know one part of this. But what I said here, that if you look at the question which I asked here, the main part of the question which I have asked here, okay, what is the second part of this? That is a relevance for India's space program. How it is going to play a role. Once you have written first part of your answer about exam 4 mission, all the facts, everything, the next comes India's mission program, particularly Gaganyaan mission, human space flight. And we are already in the advanced phase, right? We are going to use LVM-3 rocket for the launch, that launch vehicle. Then we are going to put the same crew module, 4 astronauts, and all these things will be there. Right? So that is where thing will be coming there. तो आपको ये बात को ध्यान में रखना है कि कैसे चीजों को रखना है. How you are going to present the answer, that becomes very very important. Now let's come to the next one which I said here. ये चीज जो है, this is where I have mentioned about this NISAR mission, NASA ISRO synthetic aperture mission, right? Now what are the main part of the NISAR mission? If you look at NISAR mission here, so NISAR mission, if you look at here, this one question which I mentioned here. Let's say I am giving a question here. Suppose question is there, how NISAR mission will be helpful to understand disaster let's say suppose first part of question, how NISAR mission will be helpful in to understand disasters. Now second part of the question, discuss applications of NISAR for developments of Indian agriculture. See, a question setter can ask you any kind of a question there. Suppose again 10 marks question, answer in 150 words. मान लीजिए कि ये क्वेश्चन ऐसा आ गया है ना, निसार के बारे में पूछ लिया गया और यहाँ ये बताया गया कि पूछा गया कि क्या है, मतलब कैसे डिजास्टर्स के लिए वहां पर हो सकता है और क्या उसका एप्लीकेशन एग्रीकल्चर डेवलपमेंट के लिए हो सकता है, इंडिया के एग्रीकल्चर में क्या रोल हो सकता है. सपोज करो आप. सो लेट मी लाइक जस्ट आई वुड लाइक टू जस्ट ऐड हियर. सो लेट मी आस्क हियर प्रतीक सक्सेना, कैन यू अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ? यस प्रतीक.
यस सर.
हाँ, गुड इवनिंग, हाउ आर यू?
फाइन सर.
तो मुझे बताओ इसमें क्या लिखोगे आप, क्या लिखेंगे आप, बताइए. व्हाट यू विल राइट, कैसे बिगिन करना है आंसर. लेट्स सपोज निसार पे क्वेश्चन आ गया था तो कैसे आप लिखोगे, हाउ वुड यू राइट द आंसर?
Sorry sir, I just joined the meeting.
No, not it's all right. You have joined right now also, not a problem there. But have you read about NISAR?
No sir.
Okay. Any idea what is the full form of NISAR?
Sorry sir, I already.
Not a problem there. You are from where? Where are you from?
Basically I am from Kanpur.
कानपुर. अच्छा ठीक है. कानपुर में अभी आप कहाँ, दिल्ली में हो, कहाँ पर हो? Where are you right now? Delhi there. Okay, all right. कोई बात नहीं, मैं किसी और से पूछता हूँ. Let me just ask other person. Okay, yes, सानवी कुमारी. You can mute yourself. सानवी कुमारी. सानवी, can you unmute yourself? Okay, she is not able to do that. Ravi Roy. Okay, let me ask Ravi Roy. Yes, Mr. Ravi Roy, can you unmute yourself? Ravi, am I audible to you, Ravi?
Yes sir.
Yeah, good evening. From where you are?
Good evening sir.
Huh?
Now I am Delhi.
Are you Delhi there? Okay. Any idea? NISAR क्या है? What is NISAR?
सर निसार जो हिंदी में थोड़ी हिंदी हो सकती है.
हाँ, आप बता सकते हो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. हाँ.
जो निसार है जो नासा और इसरो दोनों मिलकर जॉइंट पे ऑपरेट करते हैं और इंडियन स्पेस रिसर्च ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है और ये इसकी कंसल्टिंग जो है इसका जो गोल है वो मेजरिंग कॉजेज एंड कॉन्सिक्वेंस ऑफ लैंड सरफेस चेंजिंग और चेंजिंग के रिलेटेड है.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, good, very good. You have brought something. आपने कुछ पॉइंट्स को बताया भी है, ठीक है. आप म्यूट कर लीजिए. कनिका राणा, कैन यू अनम्यूट योर से? कनिका राणा, कनिका.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Kanika. You are from, where are you from?
So, Delhi.
Delhi, okay. So, any idea about Nisar mission? Let's suppose you have to write mains answer, right? And the question comes like this. अगर ऐसा क्वेश्चन आ जाए तो आप कैसे अप्रोच करोगे आंसर राइटिंग में? How would you start your answer? How Nisar mission will be helpful to understand disasters? So, what is very important? First, you should know about Nisar mission. See, दो तरह के क्वेश्चन है. एक क्वेश्चन जो मैंने पहले बताया, जहां पर डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन पूछा गया है, एग्जाम 4 मिशन क्या है? What is exam 4 mission? Directly it was asked. You have to write about the mission and then connect with the rest part of the question. Second is that where the question doesn't ask you what is Nisar. See, I have not asked what is Nisar, right? Directly I have asked application based question. How Nisar will be helpful to understand disaster. Both the questions, see, even though it is not directly asking you what is Nisar, but when you start your answer, that means when you start your answer in the introduction, you have to briefly start with the Nisar. 3 पार्ट होते हैं आंसर के, इंट्रोडक्शन, बॉडी, कंक्लूजन, है ना? 3 part is there. So introduction here, then the body of the answer, and finally you have to conclude the answer. That is where you all know that answer writing में ये 3 part होते हैं. These are 3 components which you have to know. Even though question is asking Nisar's connection with disasters, ठीक है, that is being asked, but you have to begin your answer first with about Nisar. That becomes a first thing here. Briefly, like, you know, very briefly you have to write about Nisar. So what is a Nisar? You all know that. NASA, that American Space Agency, ISRO, synthetic aperture radar. Now this is the full form. This is the full form of the program, right? But what is this particular program? The key points becomes very, very important. What is key point here? Is a Earth observation satellite. It's like a remote sensing satellite, is a Earth observation satellite. In Hindi it is called Prithvi Avlokan, to view the Earth's, right? And not only surface of the Earth, but even interior of the Earth. Now what is so unique about this satellite? Is a spacecraft satellite. It carries a radar. What is the word here? Synthetic aperture radar, SAR, SAR, which is a very important part of the mission. This mission has this one. So what is becomes very important here? Here this word comes, L band and S band. L band, frequency, ultra high frequency. Today whatever communication happens with the satellite, it happens with the radio waves, right? You have a communication system where there, and it has a dedicated frequency range. What is something called band, frequency band, L band and S band. One is being provided by NASA, American Space Agency, another by ISRO. So this is given by America, NASA, but this is given by India, ISRO. So this is a dual, right, frequency radar. This is a radar, just like other kind of remote sensing satellite, which will carry that kind of thing. It has an instrument called polarimeter. What is something called polarization of light, polarimeter. See, you don't have to explain. आपको वहां पर engineering aspect, technological aspect को पूरा explain नहीं करना है. You don't have to explain that, but you should mention the keywords polarimeter on board this satellite. The first thing comes about the Nisar. Okay, what is Nisar? So this is the, and then where it will be in low Earth orbit, LEO, 748 kilometers. Although it is joint mission, Indo-US collaboration, India and USA collaboration, NASA and ISRO jointly, right? But the mission objectives, right, and the data, the what data will be there, will be both shared by the countries. Their own use will be there. Launch satellite has been built by in the NASA Center JPL by both the scientists from India and the US. But what is very important, launch of this satellite is going to be provided by India. भारत के द्वारा इसको लॉन्च किया जाएगा. 2 साल से डिले चल रहा है. 2 years it has been postponed. Now it is going to be launched from Sriharikota. You know that from where India do the launch? Satish Dhawan Space Center, right? SHAR. That is our launch station we have. From there we are going to launch it. So Satish Dhawan Space Center Sriharikota we are planning this year. So here launch will be by GSLV. You know that PSLV and GSLV. GSLV is the advanced than PSLV. Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle Mark II, second, not Mark III, MK2. Mark II. Mark III is the heaviest, which I said Gaganyaan mission. That is Mark III. Chandrayaan 3 was also Mark III. But Mark II will be used for Nisar launch. तो ये सब facts है. देखो आप जब आप आंसर लिखते हैं ना तो आपको facts का जानना बहुत जरूरी है. You have to be very much aware of the important facts. Even in science and technology require the facts to be mentioned. So when you start your answer, you have to first briefly talk about mission. What is a Nisar mission? Then you have to come to the disaster. That is the next part will be there. Where that is a part of it. So this when you look at, let me show you the photograph of this satellite here. This is how it looks like, right? Which will go around the Earth. Polar, what is something called polar orbit, north to south, not equatorial. See, satellite can go into any kind of orbit, but will be a polar orbit. And there will be a cycle of 12 days. 12 दिन का cycle होगा जहां वो repeat करेगा. It is going to repeat 12 days cycle there. It's the most expensive Earth orbit satellite. It has been getting delayed for a long time. And what you see right now, this is the radar. This is satellite, this is radar on the top of it, which will work with dual frequency, L band, S band, to collect all data. That is the Earth's surface. What about the Earth's surface? The information will be gathered and even interior of the Earth. Right? So what becomes very important here? What exactly is going to cover? What exactly it is going to do? So when you know the objectives, you will be able to connect with the answer part of the body of the answer, disaster and agriculture. So if you look at the Nisar mission here, this Nisar mission which I have mentioned here, it has a, if you look at in this context, तो यहाँ पर क्या है कि if you take here, I will just divide into 5 key components. Although I am presenting in a flowchart form, see mains answer, always remember that mains answer, your preparation should be that level. Okay, immediately everything comes to your brain in one go and you are able to write answer. वहां सोचने का समय नहीं मिलेगा. You will not get time to think. It has to be simply come into the mind flow. Writing. You don't have time to think and recall. It has to be there in your brain already fed. पहले से feed होना चाहिए आपके पास सारी जानकारी. And that is the challenge of the mains exam answer writing. So 5 areas which I am writing here. And when you are preparing for the answer writing, always, even those who are writing mains answer, all of you who are writing mains answer, please make sure when you are reading science and technology topics from whatever source, make short notes. Prepare this kind of flowchart and the short notes. Or if you have done for your prelims beforehand, go through it. अगर आपने prelims के लिए बना रखा है, पढ़ो आप, दोबारा उसको देखो आप. So now let's look at here. First thing is that, what is very, very important here? This one. dynamic changes on Earth's ecosystems. It has got direct connection with the environmental aspect. Forest, grassland, right? Wetland. Because of human activities and because of global warming, what are changes happening with the ecological systems? You know that forest fire, wildfire, California, Australia, even India also. Those mapping will be done. What the Earth observation satellite does? Mapping, collection of data. Is going to collect the data there, map that area. Second thing is what? Changes within Earth's interior, particularly the crust. Now tell me, you all have read this one. Plates. You know that one topic for disaster management this year is very, very important. You know what? Earthquake. Central Myanmar. Central Myanmar, you know that Bangkok, Thailand and Myanmar, it was hit with massive earthquake. And what caused the earthquake? The interior plates, continental plates, that collision. So this is also going to look inside the earth, the radiation sent by the satellite, and that can really help us understand disasters like a earthquake, even landslides, right? Landslide. If you recall last year, Wayanad landslide. So not only on the surface of the earth, forest, grassland and other kind of ecological systems, but also within the earth. Third area, this one. Impacts of climate change, global warming, melting of glaciers, polar ice, right? Heat wave. Then you know that not only heat wave and all this. What is another thing is happening? The wildfire, forest fire. Since it is polar, satellite will be going north to south. So it will be able to do the mapping of all such areas there. Then what comes here? Next one. Study of global water cycle. Hydrological water cycle. You have read there, biogeochemical cycle, water cycle, global water cycle. It is going to study those water cycle process and how that is getting impacted because of human activities and all this. And you know that water, what is happening with water? You all know that scarcity of water, water crisis, fresh water sources, river, lakes, ponds, groundwater, even the part of impact of climate change on the water bodies, right? So all this will be studied through this satellite. Why I am going to detail part? Just to give an idea when it comes to answer writing, how you are going to bring the points. And then comes here, most important there, as I said here, earthquake, landslide, there is disaster management. Agriculture is linked again with the water cycle. All these things will be the part of this mission here. This is where I wanted to bring here, whatever source you have, whatever material you have, immediately should come to your mind. The moment you study any topic, immediately the main point should come to your mind. And elaboration on that, expansion on this. Right? So, ये चीज को ध्यान में रखना बहुत जरूरी है कि कैसे वो expand आपको करना चीजों. So now let me go back to the question. Now if you look at this question here, which I have given here, how NISAR mission will be helpful to understand disasters. So now things become very simple. once you have written about निसार मिशन, आपने निसार मिशन के बारे में कुछ लिखा, जो पॉइंट लिखने के बाद फिर आपको डिजास्टर समझ आना है कि वो प्लेट का कैसे मूवमेंट हो रहा है, क्या क्या उसमें चेंजेस आ रहे हैं, डायनेमिक चेंजेस क्या आ रहा है, क्या इंपैक्ट पड़ रहा है. तो आप क्लाइमेट चेंज, क्लाउड बर्स्ट है, तो आप डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट से जोड़ सकते हो. द फर्स्ट पार्ट ऑफ द क्वेश्चन you can really connect with the disasters because the kind of the things and everything is there, right? Then what comes? Agriculture. Second part is question is agriculture. That is a monsoon. I'll give you a very good example. When it comes to second part of the question, how this Nisar mission for development of India's agriculture. See, I have asked here Indian agriculture, and you know that India's agriculture is water dependent, irrigation. आप सबको पता है सिंचाई के लिए पानी चाहिए, राइट? और ये हर साल होता है मानसून को लेकर. सो इफ यू लुक एट द मानसून एस्पेक्ट ऑफ आवर कंट्री एंड आवर एग्रीकल्चर विच इज रेन फेड, सो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग नाउ? आइदर फ्लड और ड्रॉट. एंड व्हाट इज वन ऑफ द रीजन कॉजिंग द फ्लड एंड ड्रॉट? यू ऑल नो दैट ग्लोबल वार्मिंग है ना, विच इज इंपैक्टिंग द साइकिल ऑफ फ्लड, ड्रॉट्स, राइट? दिस सिचुएशन देयर which the NISAR satellite is going to understand. उसके बारे में जानकारी इकट्ठा करेगा, is going to get all those kind of information. So when it comes to body of the answer, so in the body of the answer here, so one is this one. What are the key objectives of the mission you are writing here? And in this one you are bringing here that is role in disaster management. Prediction, प्रिडिक्शन. अगर हम पहले से पता चल जाए कि अर्थ के अंदर जो प्लेट का चेंज हो रहा है, कि प्रोबेबिलिटी हो सकता है कि अर्थक्वेक आए. इफ यू आर एबल टू प्रिडिक्ट साइंटिफिकली द प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ द अर्थक्वेक, देन इट कैन रियली गिव अ वार्निंग. व्हाट इज समथिंग कॉल्ड अर्ली वार्निंग सिस्टम, EWS. लैंडस्लाइड, इफ यू आर एबल टू प्रिडिक्ट लैंडस्लाइड, right? Nowadays you know that during the monsoon time what is we have? Red alert, orange alert, yellow alert. These all things are there, and we have a department called IMD, Indian Meteorological Department. तो अगर हम लोग प्रिडिक्शन कर सकते हैं, वार्निंग दे सकते हैं, यही तो पार्ट आता है ना डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट का. दिस वेयर द डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट रोल कम्स. एंड व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट पार्ट ऑफ क्वेश्चन? एग्रीकल्चर. दैट इज हियर चेंजेस इन वाटर साइकिल. Then connecting with what? Drought situation, flood situation. Again, what is impact? Impact on monsoons. So this can really safeguard. This can really safeguard our Indian agriculture. अगर हमें सारा प्रॉपर डेटा मिल जाए कि क्या दिक्कत हो रही है पानी के साथ, हम प्रॉपर उसको मैनेज कर सकते हैं, हमारा एग्रीकल्चर रिजिलियंट हो जाएगा. आवर एग्रीकल्चर विल बिकम मोर रिजिलियंट इन द लॉन्ग टर्म. सो दैट्स वेयर द साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी प्ले अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल, राइट? सैटेलाइट टेक्नोलॉजी, निसार इज व्हाट? इज अ सैटेलाइट, इज अ सैटेलाइट अर्थ के ऊपर भी रहेगा, बट जो डाटा जो होगा वो हमें हेल्प करेगा प्रॉपर मैनेजमेंट ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर, राइट? एंड वी विल बी प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर इट, समथिंग कॉल्ड प्रिपेयर्डनेस. That comes. And how would you bring the conclusion of this question? Conclusion कैसे आप करोगे? Conclusion में क्या आएगा? What will be there in conclusion? See, conclusion should not be the repetition of the points of introduction and body of the answer. I have seen many students, they repeat the same thing. No. Conclusion is something what called here, sometimes you'll find in the model answer, way forward. जैसे मॉडल आंसर होता है ना क्वेश्चन का, जब मॉडल आंसर पढ़ते हो आप, तो कई बार मॉडल आंसर क्या होता है? वे फॉरवर्ड होता है. देयर आर समथिंग कॉल्ड वे फॉरवर्ड हियर. सो इन द मॉडल आंसर यू विल फाइंड द वे फॉरवर्ड हियर. तो व्हाट इज वे फॉरवर्ड हियर? कि दिस मिशन जॉइंटली बाय इंडिया एंड द यूएस, राइट, विल प्ले अ वेरी पिवटल रोल in terms of environmental conservation, disaster management and agriculture. Just one sentence. Once this mission get accomplished, then the scientists will get all the data which will be helping us as environmental management, natural resource management. That is environmental management here. This will help us in terms of environmental management, particularly from India's context of changes in the environment. What is resources? Whatever resources, soil, water, minerals, right? Agriculture, or whatever we have. Together with what is very important here, the disaster aspect. How we are going to tackle the problem of disaster, which is India is now getting recurrent disasters. And third very important thing is what? This agriculture, socio-economic development. You can write here socio-economic development, particularly in terms of water management, jal ka prabandhan, water management, right? And agriculture development. If you are able to write in conclusion this one, then your answer becomes complete. And how many words I have given you question? 150 words. 150 words you have to write. Right? The questions are not difficult. See, mains question, if you have done your preparation of science and technology from both pre and mains point of view, answer writing will not be a problem. You have the content. Presentation. How do you present? Make flow chart. I made a flow chart. Make a flow chart, diagram, key points. See, toppers or rankers, how they get more marks? Because they know that within the time limit, within those things, 150 words, they will be able to produce the answer, give the things there. So length of the answer doesn't matter. What matters is the content, information. And how do you present the information? Diagram, flow chart, whatever you bring there, key points. So that gives you kind of edge, right? That brings you this kind of thing there. So that's what I have mentioned here. This could be a part of it. Nisar, I mentioned here. और फिर मैंने ये एग्जाम 4 मिशन के बारे में बताया. इस बार के मेंस के लिए there are again, if you look at space and astronomy, there are more other topics, like one is Artemis 2 mission, lunar mission, study of moon, right? Lunar mission. Moon is very much kind of a thing where many kind of a space exploration is taking place. Our own Chandrayaan 2nd mission, Chandrayaan 3 mission, ISRO. So I have just listed here Artemis 2nd mission. Then Intuitive Machines IM3 Prism mission, European Space Agency, ESA. Again from the point of, then you see Chandrayaan 4 mission. Now India is planning not only soft landing, Chandrayaan 3. What we did in Chandrayaan 3? We soft landed on the south pole of the moon. अभी जो एग्जाम 4 मिशन हुआ है, ठीक है, हम अपना अंतरिक्ष स्टेशन बनाने वाले हैं. हमारा एक और मिशन क्या है जो पीआईबी में कवर किया गया, कि हम इंडियन एस्ट्रोनॉट को मून पे उतारेंगे, जैसे नील आर्मस्ट्रांग एंड एडविन ऑल्ड्रिन को किया था. सिमिलर टू, राइट, अमेरिकन एस्ट्रोनॉट नील आर्मस्ट्रांग एंड एडविन ऑल्ड्रिन and other astronauts who have gone to the moon surface, landed on the moon. India's ambitious space program is also to take Indian astronaut to the moon. And we are collaborating with NASA. Artemis mission is NASA mission. We are collaborating with US again in this mission is a lunar mission, where America is going back, returning back to the moons there. Our neighbor China, right? Geopolitics. Science and technology into geopolitics. Our neighbor China, Chang'e mission. They have landed on the moon, taken the sample of the moon, returned back. Even lunar sample returned back, China has done. चीन ने केवल लैंडिंग नहीं कराया, वहां का सैंपल लेके वापस भी लाया. So in this continuation of Chandrayaan mission of ISRO, Chandrayaan 1st, 2nd, 3rd, Chandrayaan 4, Chandrayaan 4 mission, we will again do the soft landing on the moon, take the sample, lunar sample, and return back to the earth, get back to the earth. What China did, what US has done, other agencies, India will also carry out. So moon has become a very, very important area. there can be a generalized question also. General question can also be asked, right? तो मेंस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू में वहां बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है, जनरल क्वेश्चन भी पूछा जा सकता है कि वेर यू हैव टू राइट अबाउट द चंद्रयान मिशन और लेट्स से इन जनरल लूनार मिशन, विच एवर कंट्री, यूएस, इंडिया, चाइना, रशिया, अबाउट द मून. Why scientists want to study the moon? That becomes very important, right? So that's where the part is there. Then another part of the means, this is already I mentioned there, Chandrayaan, this exam 4 mission, then Nisar mission, now Aditya mission, Aditya L1, Suryayan. Important for this year main exam. Always remember, topics of current affairs are evergreen. Whether it is asked this year exam or the next year exam, right? When the UPSC will ask, you are at least knowing that mission there, right? Now tell me, I'll ask someone. There is a person called HP. Yes, HP, can you unmute yourself? HP, can you unmute yourself? No? Okay. Now, if you have any technical problem, please let me know. I will try to solve it out. Yes, anybody who would like to answer me about Aditya L1 mission, you have all read about it. आप सबने पढ़ रखा है. You are aware of Aditya L1 mission. Yes, anybody? Pratik, do you want to add on this? Pratik? Pratik Saxena? Yes.
Sir, I have read about it once, but I don't remember. It is basically about the sun. So
Right.
it is about to be launched. It is not yet launched, I think. Has it
Okay.
been launched?
Yeah, it has been already launched.
Okay, so maybe.
It's already been launched and it is already working, and we are getting all the data from Aditya. Okay, not a problem. Anybody else want to add about this mission? Suppose you get a question in the main exam. So see, remember that you have to always study any topic from both the exam point of view, prelims and mains exam both. And since I am conducting mains point of view, so it becomes very, very important there. So if you look at here, key points. Now always remember that key points. That always becomes very important. So it is a ISRO mission, Suryayan, study of sun. Last year, it already reached the part of it. So what is here? It is a spacecraft, satellite, or what you say, spacecraft, to study sun, our own sun, that is solar system, right? From, now this L1 is a very important Lagrange point 1, Lagrange point 1, L1 point. 5 Lagrangian points in the outer space. That was you have, if you can draw a diagram to make things just a rough sketch. L1 is here. The 5 points are there. L1, L2, L3, L4, L5. L1, L2, L3 are on the straight line joining sun and the earth. And L4, L5, they make equilateral triangle with sun and the earth. L1 is between sun and the earth, this one. L2 is the back side. L3 is here, back of the sun on the straight line. L4 and L5 are above and below. Now here, this one. It is here we have a Aditya. Is going on the L1 point. Is not on the L1 point, around L1 point. This is called Lagrange point 1. So it is observing. Observation of sun. And sending all information back to the earth. So when you are writing answer to first about Aditya, is India's first space mission to study sun from Lagrange point 1, L1. Now this point L1 is 15 lakh kilometers away from the earth. ये जो L1 पॉइंट है अंतरिक्ष में पृथ्वी से 15 लाख किलोमीटर की दूरी पे है, वेरी वेरी फार अवे, 15 लाख kilometers away from Earth's surface, very very far away. But what is the importance of this point? Between sun and the earth, direct observation of sun, सीधे तौर पे सन को देख सकता है, स्टडी कर सकता है, इंफॉर्मेशन गैदर कर सकता है. दूसरा क्या है, ये जो पॉइंट है L1 एंड अर्थ एक साथ घूमता है. That means that L1 point with the earth remains stationary and earth with L1 point goes around the sun. As earth revolves around the sun, L1 also goes with the earth. So continuously data can be taken and given back to the earth. Now these are key concepts. See, in the mains answer you don't have to write so much things. आपको मेंस में सब कुछ लिखना जरूरी नहीं है, आपको की पॉइंट पता होना चाहिए. यू आर अवेयर ऑफ द मेन पॉइंट्स ऑफ दैट. एंड व्हाट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग हियर, दिस ऑर्बिट इज अ 3D ऑर्बिट, दिस कॉल्ड हेलो ऑर्बिट, इज अ 3-dimensional ऑर्बिट, राइट. एंड फॉर आंसर राइटिंग पार्ट विच यू हैव टू राइट इज दैट 7 इंस्ट्रूमेंट. इसमें 7 इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स हैं. इसको कहते हैं इंग्लिश में पेलोड. वी कॉल इट एज अ पेलोड. दिस इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स आर कॉल्ड पेलोड. द टेक्निकल वर्ड पेलोड. नाउ कम्स व्हाट कम्स हियर. कैसे लॉन्च हमने किया, तो वी हैव लॉन्च्ड बाय PSLV. वी हैव अ रॉकेट कॉल्ड Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, and India is the 3rd country in the world. भारत जो है तीसरा राष्ट्र है. After US और European Space Agency, India is the 3rd country in the world to go to L1 point, Lagrange point 1, study of sun. So that is a achievement, proud moment of India. भारत के लिए गर्व की बात है कि we are the 3rd in the world to use this kind of point. It's not very easy. It's not very easy to put a spacecraft in L1 point, imaginary orbit, imaginary, and controlling the satellite spacecraft from the Earth. ISRO, ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization is doing this. तो ये बहुत बड़ी बात है, उपलब्धि है भारत के लिए. इसीलिए क्वेश्चन आता है ना, यूपीएससी में क्वेश्चन क्यों आता है कि भारत का अचीवमेंट क्या है, what are the achievements of India. So now this PSLV से लॉन्च किया गया, is already there. Last year it went to L1 point. और यहाँ पे eclipse का कोई असर नहीं है, solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, there is no impact on the observation of the satellite of the sun. Now comes what objective. So ये सब चीजें जब आप पढ़ते हो तो सारे पॉइंट्स पता होना चाहिए. So what we are basically going to study about the sun. So one is called this one, corona, outer corona of the sun. Sun is a star. It's a solar system star. Hydrogen and helium, nuclear fusion. And the outermost part of the sun, corona, temperature is very, very high. लाखों डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड है, millions of degree centigrade temperature. The scientists are trying to understand what is the reason for such high temperature. अंदर कम है, फोटोस्फेयर जो कि अंदर का पार्ट है वो ठंडा है, 6000 फ़ारेनहाइट, लेकिन सबसे बाहर का पार्ट जो है बहुत गर्म है, वेरी मच हीटेड अप. द आउटर मोस्ट पार्ट इज अ मिस्ट्री, रहस्य है कि why so the outermost part is heated so high. Plasma, what is called plasma and flux, but interior part is cooler. Aditya is trying to find it out. That is here, this one, temperature difference between outer most corona and inner photosphere, फोटो डिस्क बोलते हैं. ऐसा क्यों है? Then you have read, you know that in a time scale of 11 years, sun emit powerful waves. आपने पढ़ा होगा, न्यूज में भी आपने पढ़ा होगा, सन से वेव निकलता है, तरंगे, with wave and particles. What is something called here, in technical language it is called study of coronal mass ejection. So in your answer writing, mains answer writing, this has to come there. Coronal mass ejection, corona mass ejection. That is also called solar flare, or it is also called solar wind, जो कि पूरे सोलर सिस्टम में जाता है. It reaches to the earth, पृथ्वी तक आता है. And already UPSC has asked a question in the prelims exam. Where? Prelims exam. You all know that. If you look at PYQs. So what is the impact of solar wind on earth? A very lengthy question. You know, in earth upper atmosphere, ionosphere, lighting in the sky. And you know aurora borealis, aurora australis, right? Ionosphere. It impacts our communication system, satellites. Even it can result into grid, power grid. That can become affected. Astronaut, like now Subhasha Shukla is there, other astronaut who is there in the outer space, they may get affected, health impact. And so those impacts, prediction of such solar wind, Aditya is doing, right? Then about the plasma, study of plasma, right? Study of plasma. Whatever the sun is made of plasma. Scientific expedition, scientific study. So when you are writing answer, bring the key points. Let's the question comes, how it is important for India's development. Any space program, how it is linked with India's point of view, right? So there, first you have to know the objectives, then you will connect with the application part. We'll be able to predict it, such kind of thing there. Even such kind of warning can be given to countries which can be affected by solar wind, right? But what is the main part of Aditya L1 mission? Scientific study of the sun. High-end research, high-end, advanced research. Advanced type of research study of sun. India become the third country to reach to L1 point. That is where it is required. See, mains answer you will be able to write better if you have done the topic thoroughly. अगर आपने टॉपिक को thoroughly अच्छे से पढ़ा है, you know in and out, then you will be able to write it. अगर आपको information नहीं पता है तो आप क्या लिखोगे? Unless until you don't know the information, you will not be able to write it down. See, practice only comes, many times people say answer writing practice. That only comes when you have the content, then you are able to practice it. So first, that content you have to master it. Particularly those who are writing the mains this time, please go through the topics which are very, very important for exam. So now let's move on. I am coming to the next part of it. Here, this one. Now look at this one. Right? Defense technology. There can be 10 marks question asked. Anti-drone technology, you know, drone. Right? Today drones are used for many applications. Military drones and everything there. Right? So now the anti-drone technology. Right? Anti-drone technology and all this one. That becomes very, very important here. Then advanced air defense system. Right? Advanced air defense system. Interception. Israel, Hamas and Israel, this conflict, Israel-Iran conflict, Pahalgam, 25 Indians and one Nepali citizen being killed by terrorists in Pahalgam, Operation Sindoor, that India-Pakistan which happened. How do we intercept drones? How do we neutralize any attack? Missiles. So it's not only the part of India, but also Israel, Ukraine, Russia, all those war, the new weapons. Right? वहाँ question आ सकता है. The mains exam question could be asked. So if you look at this one, this Operation Sindoor, right? Operation Sindoor, we have a targeted attack. And this showed India's defense technology capability. And I'm very sure that this year mains question will be on this. इस बार के मेंस के क्वेश्चन में पक्का ऑपरेशन सिंदूर से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन रहेगा ही. 100% there will be a question. And GS3 paper, why? Terrorism, Naxalism, money laundering, right? Drugs, trafficking, all this comes under internal security, which is again the part of GS3 paper. Operation Sindoor showed the might of India's defense capability. Our defense capability, what we have built over the last 60-70 years, what India has developed, indigenous capability. That was showcased in Operation Sindoor. We were able to intercept drones, Pakistani drones, neutralize it. We were able to find all these missiles and rockets, and will destroy it. And first we did a targeted attack on terrorist hideouts in Pakistan. We used these bombs. Which was used by Indian Air Force. Murid K. You know Murid K. जो हमने अटैक किया, what we have attacked. So if you look at इसको बोलते India's precision strike weapons. If you look at this one, these are Storm Shadow or Scalp. So when it comes to answer writing, again the facts. This bomb, which was very precision, targeted, went to those kind of place and destroyed it. Right? Yes, HP is asking photosphere, solar corona, and wind and particle flow. Yes, this all are there. That's right. They are basically the objective of Aditya L1 mission. That was the thing here. And you can see here, Scalp, Indian Air Force. We used here Mirage 2000. We have a fighter jet from France, Mirage. Then we have used Rafale. Even Rafale was used, which again we have got from France. Dassault Aviation, Dassault Rafale. And we used the Scalp, Storm Shadow, this weapon. And then we had Sukhoi from Russia. Indian Air Force used that. And Tornado, Typhoon, Gripen, all this one. So India's fighter jets, although we don't have fifth generation, FGFA, fifth generation fighter craft, but we have 4.5 generation. We use that in the mission, Operation Sindoor. And this Scalp, 480mm width, operation range 550 kilometers, speed also Mach. What is one Mach number? Speed of sound in air, 320 meters per second, the average speed. But in books sometimes you'll find 332 meters per second. Then mass and all, we use that time. Now recently Iran, right? Iran and all this one. But now you can see here, what is the name of this missile? Akash. Is a anti-aircraft missile. SAM, surface to air missile. Right? The Republic Day, Kartavya Path, India Gate, 26 January, 26 January. DRDO, what is the name of the organization? DRDO, Defense Research Development Organization. So we have this Akash missile, surface to air missile. This was used in Operation Sindoor. We were able to counteract Pakistan. Completely we were able to do that. Akash Tir. Then from Russia, we have S-400. Triumph. S-400. Most advanced air defense of the world. Better than US and Israel, what Russia has got. And we have given the name Sudarshan Chakra. Sudarshan Chakra. Lord Krishna's Sudarshan Chakra. That is the name given by India. S-400. That was used. Very precision. Then there is an anti-drone system. D4. This is a radar. This is a radar. We were able to intercept Pakistani drones and with Akash Tir destroy them. Even for missiles, we were able to use the S-400. Today, India, if you look at defense technology, we have become very advanced. Right? One question this year mains exam will be on this part, defense technology. There will be a question. And then you can see here this one. This is S-400. This is Russia's S-400. We have again further requested Russia to provide more number of this S-400 battery of the weapons. It can intercept aircraft, fighter jet, missiles, whatever, rockets, drones, 400 kilometers. Is a very advanced air defense system of the world. Even the mains exam, even UPSC main exam, already S-400 has been asked. If you go back to PYQ, previous year question was simple. How S-400 system is the most advanced and better than other such systems in the world? That was the mains question, which India has got. And what is the name given by India? Sudarshan Chakra. That what the name we have given. So Operation Sindoor can be a question asked there. And you know that these are places where we made a targeted attack. Muzaffarabad, Kotli, Gulpur, Bhimbar, Sialkot, Chakamru, Murudke, Bahawalpur, across the border. Mains question, when you get mains exam question, you need to have data, information, facts. Then only you will get marks. तभी नंबर मिलेंगे आपको, मार्क्स मिलेंगे. तो ये चीज है. Now there is Iran case, Israel and Iran case. So I am now coming to that. This one. अभी न्यूज में था ना, B2 bomber, Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Where the USA made attack on Iran nuclear facilities. Nuclear site of Iran. 3 nuclear sites, they were bombed. They were attacked by US. And very advanced military aircraft, GBU. This B2 bomber was used. Stealth, radar. Radar cannot detect it, cannot intercept this bomber, this fighter jet. And used a weapon called MOP, M-O-P, MOP. right? This mop weapon, the bomb what you can see which was dropped, is called bunker buster. What is called there? Bunker buster. This bomb which was dropped, and this B2, this mop which went deep into the ground and blasted. Right? That was Iran's recently this conflict, Israel-Iran thing. Now this is what the bomb is there. What you can see right now. And you can see here, 3 sites were targeted of Iran. One is this Fordo, Natanz, Isfahan. Fordo, Natanz, Isfahan. And out of these 2, Fordo and Natanz, they use B2 military aircraft, B2 and bombing with the mop. Whereas Isfahan, this site of Iran, was attacked with a cruise missile. What is something called Tomahawk? Tomahawk cruise missile by naval base of America. American naval base. Cruise missile, Tomahawk. Just like India has got BrahMos. So Tomahawk was used. Right? So you can see here. And what was the main objective of this American attack on Iran? Because Iran is building nuclear bomb, nuclear weapons. Right? Iran is building nuclear weapons. So the purpose was to destroy this facility where uranium being enriched. What is something called? Enrichment. High grade uranium, which can be used in nuclear bomb. So that was the thing here. You will see here, Natanz, largest uranium enrichment facility in Iran. Then Isfahan, Iran's largest nuclear research site, was targeted by Israel 2 times since the crisis. And Fordo, Iran's most heavily fortified nuclear site. You know that Khamenei, Al-Khamenei, the leader, supreme leader of Iran. See, IR, international relation, world affair. I have told you that science and technology can come anywhere. So in the mains exam, when you are writing world affair or IR question, geopolitics, again the science and technology comes into that. See, one question can be direct. One question can be direct question. Technological, defense technology. Right? But what could be the second thing? Second thing could be on what? Second thing could be on the IR part, international relation, geopolitics. And then there will be one part where defense weapons, technology will come into. So those who are writing mains answer about this, let's say IR question, international relation question, is able to bring this technological aspect, defense weapons, will get extra marks. Will get what? Extra marks. अगर कोई भी जो इस बार मेंस लिख रहा है, मान लो कि आईआर का क्वेश्चन आ गया, सिक्योरिटी का क्वेश्चन आ गया, और अगर वो डिफेंस टेक्नोलॉजी को अच्छे से जानता है या जानती है और उस चीज को ला सकता है अपने आंसर में, तो उसको कुछ पॉइंट तो एक्स्ट्रा मिलेगा ही, मार्क्स तो एक्स्ट्रा मिलेगा ही. राइट? And this is all making headlines, current affairs, and will be asked in the exam, right? So that will be always there. Then you can see here, now another thing here. Now coming to nuclear technology here. Now what was the main objective of Iran attack by US? Nuclear facility of Iran, nuclear bomb. I don't know how many people know nuclear fuel cycle. आप में से कितने लोगों को ये पता है कि न्यूक्लियर फ्यूल साइकिल क्या होता है? देखो, मैं यहां पर आपको पूरा साइंस टेक नहीं पढ़ा सकता. I cannot teach you the entire science and technology because that requires number of hours. I am assuming that since you are going to write mains exam, so you have read about it. मैं ये assume करके चल रहा हूं कि अगर आप मेंस लिख रहे हैं तो आपको ये सब चीजें पता है. सपोज करो कि इस बार के पेपर में क्वेश्चन आ जाए ईरान को लेकर, and nuclear fuel cycle, that is a part, or UPSC question asks what is the nuclear fuel cycle. So if you don't know the technology, then it's difficult to write. See, you have, those who of you have qualified prelims, you have cleared one obstacle, but another big obstacle is the mains exam. Mains निकालना भी आसान नहीं है. It's not easy. You require very much preparation for mains answer. So nuclear fuel cycle can be a topic this year exam. Then small modular reactor, Bharat modular reactor. Then there was a news, FBR, fast breeder reactor, this one. India has gone into second stage of nuclear power program. We have 3 stages program by Dr. Homi Jahangir Bhabha, father of atomic energy program. Now we have entered second stage, Kalpakkam, where before election, Prime Minister went to Kalpakkam in Tamil Nadu to start this breeder reactor, which breed plutonium from uranium-238. It has been once asked in mains exam. अगर आप PYQ देखेंगे, if you see the PYQ, already a question has been asked in the exam about fast breeder reactor. Then small modular reactor, SMR, this budget, small modular reactor which can produce 300 megawatt. Now we want to bring private players into nuclear sector, power generation. And we want to expand our nuclear power program. Already in UPSC mains exam question been asked. What are the problems with respect to expansion of nuclear program of India? Risk and fear, nuclear accident and all. And also Bharat modular reactor or small modular reactor has been asked in prelims exam. Then another very important, nuclear fusion. See, today whatever nuclear reactors are there, they are uranium based or plutonium based, fission. Now what is the future technology? Fusion, like sun and the star, right? Hydrogen being combined. And China is doing the lead. Artificial sun. What was in the news? Artificial sun. So it can be a 10 marks question. 10 marks question can be asked. 150 words. Answer writing 150 words. China did world record by developing a reactor called, fusion reactor called, a very important one, and produce highest temperature within the reactor. Right? Tokamak reactor. What is something called? EAST. EAST. Again could be asked in mains exam. So if you see here, this one, this is called fuel cycle. I will not go in detail part of it, but those who are writing mains exam, please make sure to go to the cycle. Let's say you get 150 words question. Mining and milling, right? Then enrichment, there's something called centrifuge, high enrichment, low enrichment. Then fabrication, developing fuel rod, which goes for power generation. If we are going to make nuclear bomb, suppose we are going to make nuclear weapons, then we need to enrich uranium high level, 40%, 50%, 90%. Because what is the purpose of nuclear weapon? Destruction, tabahi, barbadi. More and more uranium, enrichment. For power generation, for electricity generation, we need only 3 to 5%. That's it. For electricity in a nuclear reactor, we need only 3 to 5%. But for others, we need more. So then again, reprocessing of the fuel. Then whatever nuclear waste, after the reaction, nuclear waste, proper management and disposal. That is called NFC, nuclear fuel cycle. And there can be a direct question in the exam. Then coming to this one, micro reactor 1 megawatt to 20 megawatt, small modular reactor 20 megawatt to 300 megawatt. India is planning for this. This is where Bharat modular reactor or small modular reactor, where we are inviting the private companies to expand the nuclear power generation in India. And today we have large reactor, Kudankulam, Kalpakkam in Tamil Nadu, Trombay and Tarapur in Maharashtra. Then Bulandshahr, Narora in Uttar Pradesh, Rawat Bhata in Rajasthan, near Kota, right? Kaiga in Karnataka, Kakrapar in Gujarat. All these are nuclear park, and India is constructing new nuclear parks, right? So there we have this type of reactor, 1000 megawatt, 300 megawatt to 7000, 1000 megawatt, pressurized water reactors. But now India, this we have already been doing so. Now we are expanding to this one, up to 300 megawatt small reactors. And here Adani or private companies can take the lead. Factory built reactor, which we can put up Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Bihar, UP, Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Gujarat, right? Northeastern states, whichever place. And we can expand electricity generation, power generation using SMR. And this has been added where? Budget. Budget already, this SMR, Bharat modular reactor, government is promoting. The mains exam question can be asked, right? And fast breeder reactor is this one, Kalpakkam, FBR, fast breeder. It generate plutonium from uranium, which can be undergo fission and produce electricity. So we have gone, this is the second stage of nuclear power program. 3 stages are there, second stage. So this can be a question. And then China's artificial sun. What do you see? This is called tokamak. This reactor is called tokamak. Just like sun and star, it can have controlled fusion reaction. Hydrogen can combine. It can generate energy 10 times more than uranium. From fission, 10 times more. So what question can be asked in the exam? The prospect of nuclear fusion in future. Pros and cons, positives and negatives. So what are the positive side? What are the negative side? And there is one international project going on, ITER, International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor. India is part of the 35 countries group. Department of Atomic Energy, DAE, is funding that project. Where? France. Where it is being built? World's largest tokamak, France. India is a partner. ITER, ITER. ITER was asked in prelims exam, if you go back to PYQs. But this topic is so important that question can be asked in the main exam. मेंस में क्वेश्चन आ सकता है आर्टिफिशियल सन के बारे में और न्यूक्लियर फ्यूजन रिएक्टर के बारे में. ये सब ऐसे ग्रे एरिया है ना जहां यूपीएससी क्वेश्चन पूछ सकता है. एंड टेक्नोलॉजी इज वन थिंग प्लस एप्लीकेशन इज अनदर थिंग. So that's what I am trying to do it this main session. What is my purpose of doing this main session? Those who are going to write mains this year, they get benefited, plus those who are going to appear next year, 2026, they also know the topics and areas there, right? This is what I have done there. So today I have tried to go into space, astronomy, defense and nuclear. Probable topics of this year mains exam. Tomorrow I will go to PIB and other kind of government database and the information there. We'll discuss about biotechnology, health, ICT, computing, those areas. And we will provide you document. हम लोग document आपको दे देंगे जहां पर आप लोग पढ़ सकते हो, because आपके पास time कम है. You have a very little time. So that's what we have kept this in the evening class time. And we are trying to, at least make you understand GS3 paper is so important. We are doing free of cost. Now those who have qualified prelims, they are worried how to cross the mains hurdle. And they are so much engaged with their self-study, reading, preparing, right, writing, tests, mentorship, all those kind of things. But the purpose of this session, which I have taken, is to guide them how the science and technology question and what are the topics they can look for it. Right? So I hope that this first session really helps you, right? And don't miss out. Economy also and other segment, you don't miss out. कल भी हम लोग 7:30 बजे मिलेंगे. Same link है, same Zoom link. You can log in tomorrow also, and we can go further discussion of other topics of science and technology. Right? So anything you want to ask? कुछ पूछना चाहते हैं? Any interaction? Is it useful?
Yes, sir. Sir, can you please show the different topics again?
डिफेंस टॉपिक में आता हूं उसमें. लेट्स गो टू दिस वन. ये डिफेंस टॉपिक है. ये मैंने 3 टॉपिक्स को मार्क किया है. आई हैव जस्ट मार्क द 3 टॉपिक्स देयर. दिस वन, एंटी ड्रोन टेक्नोलॉजी, 10 मार्क्स क्वेश्चन कैन बी देयर. एडवांस एयर डिफेंस सिस्टम, इस पे क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. और कुछ न्यू वेपन्स पे क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. समथिंग न्यू वेपन्स, दैट क्वेश्चन कैन बी लाइक स्काल्प बॉम्ब, मॉप, जैसे ईरान, इजराइल, इंडिया, पाकिस्तान, जो भी नए हथियार यूज हुए वहां क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. देयर द क्वेश्चन कैन बी आस्क्ड. राइट? सी देयर आर लॉट ऑफ टॉपिक्स. Science and technology itself again is a very vast. The many things comes in science and technology. Right? But targeted for this year exam I am trying to filter it out. वो मैं फिल्टर कर रहा हूं ताकि जो इस साल के पेपर्स हैं उसमें वहां आपको काम दे दे, हेल्प कर दे. ठीक है?
हेलो.
या हाँ
गुड इवनिंग सर. सभी.
हाँ, गुड इवनिंग. हाँ बोलिए. हाँ कनिका.
टारगेट 26 है, तो क्या अप्रोच और क्या स्ट्रेटेजी रहनी चाहिए इसके लिए?
26 के लिए हाँ साइंस एंड टेक के लिए पहला अप्रोच ये होना चाहिए कि सिलेबस को थॉरोली करना है, पूरे अच्छे से करना है. पूरा सिलेबस, जैसे मैंने आज 3 एरिया को डिस्कस किया, स्पेस, डिफेंस और न्यूक्लियर. लेकिन क्योंकि टाइम बहुत कम है, ये पूरे चीज को पढ़ने में बहुत टाइम चाहिए. तो पहला आपका टारगेट है कि 2026 के लिए आप पूरा का पूरा सिलेबस जो है साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी का पूरा अच्छे से करना है. उसमें कम से कम, जैसे कोई भी टीचर जो पढ़ाते हैं वो कम से कम 60 आवर्स लेते हैं, 60 घंटे की क्लास होती है.
ओके सर.
तो वो पहला टारगेट ये होना चाहिए कि वो आप कंप्लीट कीजिए. और आपके पास बेसिक बुक्स होनी चाहिए, क्योंकि क्या होता है कई बार बच्चे नॉन साइंस बैकग्राउंड के आते हैं, है ना. जैसे मान लीजिए 10th तक पढ़ा होगा या 12th तक पढ़ा होगा, उसके बाद साइंस टेक नहीं पढ़ा है. और ये बहुत अच्छा तो आपको फिर भी, लेकिन जैसे यूपीएससी का स्टैंडर्ड अलग होता है, जैसा क्वेश्चन आता है बहुत अलग ढंग से पूछते हैं वो. मतलब बहुत जो अभी इस बार के पेपर में भी पूछा गया साइंस टेक का, गगन के बारे में, एग्जाम 4 गगनयान, ये सब आ गया था उसमें, है ना. बायोटेक्नोलॉजी के बारे में. तो ये ऐसे डाइवर्सिफाइड टॉपिक्स है ना कि आपको बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट पता रहेगा तो न्यूज़पेपर या करंट अफेयर्स मैगजीन्स जो होते हैं तो आपको इजीली चीजें समझ में आना स्टार्ट हो जाते हैं. आपको पता होता है ये सब टॉपिक इंपॉर्टेंट है और यूपीएससी क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हैं. और मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ ये साइंस टेक ऐसा एरिया है, मैं बता रहा हूँ GS3 पेपर आप ले लो, साइंस टेक, इन्वायरमेंट और इकोनॉमिक्स. अगर हम लोग प्रीलिम्स की भी बात करें, मतलब यूपीएससी प्रीलिम्स एग्जाम, साइंस टेक से कम लगभग 12 से 15 क्वेश्चन होते हैं, इन्वायरमेंट से भी 12 से 15 क्वेश्चन आ रहे हैं, ज्योग्राफी भी उसमें आता है, और इकोनॉमी से भी क्वेश्चन आपको देखिए 15, 20, 25 क्वेश्चन आ जाते हैं. अगर किसी स्टूडेंट ने अपने प्रीलिम्स एग्जाम में क्योंकि ये सबसे डिफिकल्ट एरिया होता है। ज्योग्राफी, एनवायरमेंट, साइंस टेक, इकोनॉमी, पॉलिटी सब पढ़ते हैं, पॉलिटी, हिस्ट्री, ये सब लोग करके जाते हैं। अगर ये सब एरिया को अच्छे से कर लिया जाए ना तो उसका प्रीलिम्स क्वालिफाई हो जाएगा। अब मेंस में जीएस 3 पेपर जो मैं भी डिस्कस कर रहा हूं, इसमें मेंस में बहुत कम मार्क्स आते हैं, बहुत तो ढंग से नहीं लिख पाते। जैसे कि प्रमोद सर हैं, वो कवर करेंगे मेंस में कम से कम 10 क्वेश्चन इकोनॉमिक्स के होते हैं, जीएस 3 पेपर 10 क्वेश्चन। साइंस टेक का तो 3-4 क्वेश्चन होता है, वो कोई भी लिख सकता है, 3-4 क्वेश्चन होते हैं, आराम से कोई भी लिख सकता है, वहां दिक्कत नहीं आता है। जिसने प्रीलिम्स का अच्छा तैयारी किया है तो मेंस का आंसर राइटिंग हो जाता है। एनवायरमेंट के भी 3-4 क्वेश्चन होंगे, डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट के 1-2 क्वेश्चन होते हैं, और इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी के 2 क्वेश्चन होते हैं। लेकिन 10 क्वेश्चन इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट से आ रहा है, जो कि बहुत मैटर करता है जीएस 3 पेपर में। तो जीएस 3 पेपर पूरा का पूरा ऐसा पेपर है कि जहां पर जो लोग मेंस देते हैं उनके मार्क्स बहुत कम आते हैं, क्योंकि वो नेग्लेक्ट करते हैं, उसको अच्छे से नहीं ध्यान देते हैं। वो लोग ज्यादातर जीएस 1 और 2, एथिक्स, जीएस 4 वही समय ध्यान देते हैं। लेकिन मैं मानता हूं कि अगर ये टॉपिक, ये सब टॉपिक्स है, ये पेपर को किसी ने ढंग से अच्छे से कर लिया तो कोई मतलब केवल प्रीलिम्स ही नहीं, मेंस में ऐसा स्कोर आएगा कि वो इंटरव्यू तक पहुंच के क्वालिफाई, रैंक। और ये कर रहे हैं, जो रैंकर्स होते हैं वो करते हैं, है ना, रैंकर्स ये चीज को करते हैं।
स्पेस, न्यूक्लियर एंड
नहीं, स्पेस, डिफेंस, न्यूक्लियर तो मैंने बताया, फिर बायोटेक्नोलॉजी है, हेल्थ है, फिर कम्युनिकेशन टेक्नोलॉजी आता है, फिर न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी में आता है जैसे नैनो टेक्नोलॉजी, रोबोटिक्स, एआई, है ना, वो सारी चीज। मतलब सिलेबस बहुत बड़ा है, मतलब मैंने बताया कि कम से कम 60 घंटे लगते हैं, 60 आवर्स पूरा करने में। तो पहला आपका अप्रोच होना चाहिए, आप सब लोग का, जो लोग 2026 को टारगेट कर रहे हैं, आपका पहला अप्रोच होना चाहिए कि पूरा सिलेबस को थॉरोली करना, कंप्लीट सिलेबस। और उसके लिए अभी हम लोग स्टार्ट करेंगे, वी विल बी स्टार्टिंग 2026 के लिए डिटेल्ड मॉड्यूल होगा, डिटेल क्लासेस, जहां पर ये पूरा कॉन्सेप्ट, फैक्ट, सारा चीज अच्छे से कराया जाए। तो वो हम लोग लॉन्च करेंगे, वी विल बी लॉन्चिंग दैट, तो वी विल बी गोइंग टू दैट एरिया, वो हम लोग चीज करेंगे। हाँ,
तो साइंस पेपर तो एग्जाम जब इम्पोर्टेंट है वो छोड़ सकते हैं, स्किप कर सकते हैं।
हाँ कर सकते हैं, जो उसमें जो लेस इंपॉर्टेंट एरियाज है उसको स्किप किया जा सकता है, जैसे मान लो जो रेलेवेंट नहीं है। हाँ, वो पता चलता है कि कौन सा टॉपिक अभी न्यूज में ज्यादा अच्छे से कवर हो रहा है, कौन सा एरिया।
हम न्यूज़पेपर से अगर साइंस एंड टेक्निकल वो रिपोर्ट वाले मैगजीन टच ना करे तो ऐसा होस्ट कर सकते हैं।
हाँ कर सकते हैं, कर सकते हैं। देखिए मैगजीन में क्या होता है, मैगजीन में कंपाइलेशन होता है, मैगजीन कंपाइल द सेम थिंग फ्रॉम न्यूज़पेपर। अगर आप न्यूज़पेपर रेगुलरली करते हैं तो आपको मैगजीन की जरूरत ही नहीं है। अगर डेली करंट अफेयर्स आप करें तो बहुत काम आता है। और विच आई बिलीव, मैं ये मानता हूँ कि डेली करंट अफेयर्स करना चाहिए, दैट इज मोर बेटर न्यूज़पेपर वगैरह का जो, जबकि उसका टाइम ज्यादा लगेगा, यू विल हैव टू स्पेंड मोर टाइम ऑन दैट, बट इन लॉन्ग टर्म इट हेल्प्स, लॉन्ग टर्म में वो हेल्प करता है वहां पर जो।
लास्ट 1 ईयर तो न्यूज़पेपर करना सही रहेगा करंट अफेयर।
हाँ लास्ट 1 ईयर, यस, 1 साल का, पिछले 1 साल के, जैसे मान लीजिए 2026 में देना है नेक्स्ट ईयर, तो आपका जनवरी 2025 से, मतलब इस साल के जनवरी से लेकर नेक्स्ट ईयर के अप्रैल तक, मतलब अप्रैल 2026 तक, मतलब 1.5 साल का कवर करना होगा, 1.5 ईयर वो रहेगा।
सर एक डाउट, रेफरेंस बुक के लिए राजीव भी कोई नाम है वो
नहीं वो आप छोड़ सकते हो, उतने बल्कि किताब पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है वो।
अच्छा, तो
उसमें
क्या करना?
कई बार चीजें आउटडेटेड चीजें होते हैं ना, वो मत करो आप, फिर वो चीजें आउटडेटेड होते हैं, फिर वो आपका पैसा भी बर्बाद होगा, टाइम भी बर्बाद होगा, कोई मतलब नहीं है ना।
तो सिर्फ क्लास नोट्स।
हाँ, क्लास नोट्स पे फोकस करो आप, जो टीचर पढ़ा रहे हैं उसके जो कॉन्सेप्ट वगैरह वो आप फोकस करो, आप न्यूज़पेपर रीडिंग में फोकस करो आप, है ना। और कोई भी अगर बुक पढ़ना है तो वो कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव बुक होना चाहिए, मतलब जो मेन पॉइंट्स को कवर करता है।
तो आप बता दीजिए कौन सी बुक सही रहेगी फिर
रेफरेंस के लिए मैं बताऊंगा। एक आता है ओकब्रिज पब्लिकेशन का आता है, वो अभी अमेरिका से रिवाइज हो रहा है बुक, और जब रिवाइज होकर आएगा तब आप उसको प्री कम मेंस के लिए ले सकते हो। ओकब्रिज पब्लिकेशन का ओक, हाँ OAK, मैं स्पेल करता हूँ एक मैं लिख देता हूं, मैं जस्ट लेट मी राइट इट डाउन। अभी ये रिवाइज हो रहा है, ठीक है। मैं आपको बुक दिखा देता हूं, दिस द बुक, ये 3rd एडिशन है।
अच्छा।
इज रिटन बाय, हाँ, और ये बुक मैंने लिखा है। तो ये मेरी किताब है, अभी मैं रिवाइज कर रहा हूँ, अभी इसको मैं और कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव बना रहा हूँ बहुत। उसको जो होता है ना कि जो काम की चीजें हैं जो एग्जाम में और सिंपल लैंग्वेज में, तो वो चीज है। तो ये आ रही है मेंस के, जैसे मेंस अगस्त में, सितंबर ये बुक आ जाएगी, सितंबर में ये मार्केट में रहेगा। क्योंकि ये बुक को मैं 2-3 साल में रिवाइज करता हूँ, ठीक है। और इस बुक के जो टॉपिक्स है, इसमें ऐसे टॉपिक्स है जो रेलेवेंट टॉपिक्स होते हैं, जो एग्जाम में आता है। अब जैसे जो जो मैंने बताया ना, ये सब कुछ उसमें दिया हुआ है। मतलब आने वाले 4-5 साल में क्या टॉपिक्स रहेगा वो भी इसमें दिया हुआ है। मैं काफी रिसर्च करके करता हूँ, मैं चीजों को काफी इसको रिसर्च करके मैंने तैयार किया है। तो प्रॉब्लम उसमें क्या हो रहा है कि वो जो मैग्रोलॉजी की बुक जो है, एक तो बल्कि है, दूसरा क्या है कि वो लोग क्या करते, खाली क्वेश्चन पेपर ऐड करके कवर पेज चेंज करके फिर वापस मार्केट में डाल देते हैं मार्केट में। एक होता है ना कि पूरी बुक का रिवीजन करना कि क्या रिलेवेंट है क्या नहीं है, वो नहीं, खाली वो एडिशन के नाम पे क्या करते हैं, जैसे मान लीजिए जो पहले से बचा हुआ स्टॉक है, कवर चेंज कर दिया, अब इस साल का प्रीलिम्स का पेपर लगा दिया, बाजार में डाल दिया। तो वो नहीं करना है, फिर पता चला कि आप उसको पढ़े फिर वो काम का नहीं है, तो उसको स्किप कर देना, ठीक है। तो आप अभी वेट कर लो, सितंबर में ये बुक आ जाएगी, तो वो आप फॉलो करना। तो
वैल्यू एडिशन वगैरह कहाँ से ऐड ऑन कर सकते हैं?
वैल्यू एडिशन
बाद में प्री के बाद करना चाहिए वैल्यू एडिशन ऐड, या फिर साथ के साथ प्रिपरेशन के
नहीं,
साथ वैल्यू एडिशन करना
नहीं नहीं, साथ ही साथ करना चाहिए। जैसे अभी मान लो कि आपके पास एक रेफरेंस बुक हो गया, ठीक है, सिलेबस आपने कवर कर लिया क्लासरूम में, वो आपका रेडी हो गया। तो 3rd चीज क्या करना है आपको कि जैसे जैसे आप करंट अफेयर्स पढ़ रहे हैं, उसमें कुछ भी नया चीज आ रहा है या कुछ भी वैल्यू एडिशन हो रहा है, तो वो करना चाहिए। जनरली मैं बिलीव करता हूँ कि वैल्यू एडिशन जो टॉपिक करना चाहिए वो प्री के बाद करना चाहिए, कि वो प्री आपने दे दिया, उसके बाद कुछ एडिशनल ऐसा लग रहा है तो आपने ऐड कर दिया। लेकिन आपको अपना एनरिचमेंट कंटिन्यूअस करते जाना है। मतलब जैसे सपोज करो कि 1 महीने के बाद कुछ नया साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी में हुआ है, तो आपको पता होना चाहिए क्या रिसेंट क्या डेवलपमेंट हुआ है, बायोटेक में क्या हुआ है, एग्रीकल्चर में क्या हुआ है ना, या स्पेस एस्ट्रोनॉमी में क्या हुआ है, डिफेंस में क्या हुआ है। तो आपने अपने साथ साथ अपने वैल्यू ऐड करते चले गए आप। अब जैसे निसार मैंने बताया, तो निसार बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है क्योंकि वो न्यूज में कंटिन्यूसली है और उस पर क्वेश्चन आ सकता है, प्रीलिम्स एग्जाम में भी आ सकता है अगले साल के पेपर। तो वो सब चीजें वैल्यू ऐड करते जाना पड़ेगा। वो मैंने बुक में दे रखा है, अभी भी जो एडिशन है ना, ये मेरी किताब हमेशा आउट ऑफ स्टॉक रहता है। ये आता है तुरंत बिक जाता है। इसमें ऑलरेडी सारे टॉपिक आदित्य, निसार, ये सब कुछ दिया हुआ है, ऑलरेडी दिया हुआ है, और काफी ये वहां पर है। तो मैं इसको कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कि और थोड़ा और वैल्यू एडिशन करके और थोड़ा उसको एनरिच कर दूं मैं, तो वो चीज है वैल्यू एडिशन। हाँ हाँ,
जैसे कि मैं सोच रही थी, जैसे अभी आपकी बात सुनने के बाद, तो पहले मैं सोच रही थी कि क्लास नोट्स के साथ विजन आईएएस के वैल्यू एडिशन को
हाँ कर सकते हो, नहीं वो कर सकते, लेकिन मैं कहूँगा कि जैसे कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट का जो मटेरियल आप करते हो ना, वो आप यूज करो आप मार्च अप्रैल में रिवीजन के लिए। मतलब हाँ, उस टाइम आपको हेल्प करेगा वहां पर जो है। अभी अगर कुछ वैल्यू एडिशन करना है तो न्यूज़पेपर से करना चाहिए। न्यूज़पेपर, हाँ, न्यूज़पेपर से अगर आप करते हो ना, तो उसमें क्या होता है कि कोई भी टॉपिक आपसे छूटेगा नहीं। कोई भी अगर नया डेवलपमेंट हुआ है तो आपको पता होगा। जैसे अभी मैंने ईरान इजराइल का बताया, तो अभी कौन सा बॉम्बर यूज किया, कौन सा वेपन यूज किया, तो आपको पता होगा उसमें। तो कई बार क्या होता है कि जो विजन या कोई भी कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट का जो मैगजीन वगैरह होता है, वो वही चीज को कंपाइल करते हैं, लेकिन वो क्या करते हैं, बहुत सारे टॉपिक्स को छोड़ देते हैं। उनको लगता है कि ये टॉपिक इंपॉर्टेंट है तो इसी को डाल दो। लेकिन यूपीएससी क्या कर रहा है, यूपीएससी जो है न्यूज़पेपर में जो आर्टिकल्स आ रहे हैं वहां से क्वेश्चन उठा के पूछ रहा है। अब पता चला आपने वो कोचिंग का पढ़ा और उन्होंने कुछ टॉपिक्स को छोड़ दिया जो कि न्यूज में आया हुआ था, पेपर में आया हुआ था, और आपने छोड़ दिया और पता चला कि यूपीएससी वहीं से क्वेश्चन पूछ दिया, तो वो रिस्क होता है। तो वो क्या करना है, उसको पढ़ना है, लास्ट मोमेंट रिवीजन के लिए यूज कर लेना है। ठीक है चलो देख लेते हैं कि कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट का क्या क्या मैगजीन आया हुआ, उसमें क्या कवरेज किया हुआ है।
लाइक ऐसे कर सकते हैं, मैं एज से हूँ तो अब मतलब क्लास नोट्स कर लिए, टीचर जो पढ़ा रहा है वो कर लिया, सिलेबस अपना कंप्लीट कर लिया, उसके बाद हमारी मंथली मैगजीन्स आती है।
हाँ बस वो
कोचिंग की एजलिटी मंथली मैगजीन देख लो।
हाँ बस वही करना है, उसको अपडेट करते रहना
और
है।
आपकी जो बुक है ये वाली बुक पढ़ के अपना रेफरेंस बुक को इससे रेफरेंस बना लेती हूँ।
इसको रेफरेंस बना लिया कि आपको जितनी बार रिवाइज करना है, कोई भी कॉन्सेप्ट है, कोई भी फैक्ट्स है या कोई भी एप्लीकेशन, तो आपने उसको रिवाइज कर लिया वहां से। और मान ली कई बार ऐसा भी हो सकता है करंट में आपने कुछ पढ़ा, मैगजीन में कुछ पढ़ा, लेकिन उसमें आपको कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर नहीं हुआ, तो आपने क्या किया, मेरी रेफरेंस बुक जो रेफरेंस बुक है, फिर आपने वो चैप्टर खोल के पढ़ लिया, अच्छा ठीक है इसका मतलब ये है, तो वो आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग और बढ़ा देगी और आपका प्रिपरेशन और बेटर हो जाएगा, वो चीज है ना।
थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू एंड कल भी, हाँ कल भी आप ज्वाइन कर सकते हो, उसमें कल भी कुछ टॉपिक्स में कवर करूंगा, है ना। ठीक है, ओके चलिए, आई रियली एडमायर दैट ऑल ऑफ यू अटेंडेड द क्लास एंड सो be connected even if you are writing 2026, but we remain connected there, all right, so see you soon there, all right, good night,
Bye.
good night, take care, bye bye, thank you, bye.